Recording now. Okay,
Yep.
Go ahead.
Okay, guys, what we're here tonight is just to talk about the certification process and the Club Maker of the Year process, and just try and answer some of the questions and let everybody get familiar with it so that it's not this magical thing that, you know, there's any resistance to apply for it. With the ICG, we've gone to a company called ClassMarker, which should be showing on the screen right now. And that's an online testing company, and we've found out that there's a lot of things that we can use ClassMarker for our membership. I bring that up because for the people applying for Club Maker of the Year or people that are going to take the certification exams, either the fitter or the Club Maker, this will be the platform that you'll be using. So what we're looking at right now is just a screen. One of the admins in ClassMarker, and if we go down, so I've got COY survey, and if I want to look at that, we'll bring this up, and this is going to be the first step to applying for the COY process. Is there'll be a link on our website that you'll click. It'll bring you over to ClassMarker. The Club Maker of the Year committee has come up with basically a questionnaire to start with. It's got 43 questions. We won't go through all of them tonight, but I want everybody to see the process and just know how it works. Again, this is a survey. It's going to be step one, and what that'll do is give us an initial categorization of the people that are applying for Club Maker of the Year. The questions are very basic. They're very simple. There's no tricks in there. You know, is your club making fitting business licensed and insured? And you can go down and go, okay, yes, no. Again, is your company an LLC? And there's going to be questions that are duplicated. In other words, like we're looking at question 2 and 3 right now. Well, if you're an LLC in question 2, you're obviously not a sole proprietor in question 3. And we just want to reiterate that you don't lose points, obviously, by doing that. So it's not set up that way. This is just to categorize and try and get a feel for what everybody's individual business is that's applying for the COY. Do you have commercial retail space? Followed up, the next question again, do you run a mobile shop? Trying to fit everybody in there and yet still be able to give the committee the ability that if you have 50 applicants or 15 applicants, it gives the committee a place to start and to get familiar. Because again, we're all volunteers. We're trying to be able to work this process in our, in our spare time, our volunteer time online, and let everyone continue to run their businesses at the same time while accomplishing the ICG's business. Again, we don't need to go through all 43 of them. You know, there's income levels here, and you're going to obviously answer one. We get into how do you market your business? Do you have a website? Do you go on Facebook? Do you have a Twitter account? Again, there's no punishment for having a no answer to some of these, but it does help give the committee a feel for who's applying and what type of operation they're running. Launch monitors, obviously, what do you use? How do you fit? You know, what equipment do you have? Do you own or use high-speed video equipment? You have the ability to bend woods, irons, hybrids. These are all kind of basic questions and things that we've tried to figure out a way to get some kind of a spread. So again, if you get 50 applicants, you may have 10 or 15 that are at the top of the point value on this, the majority in the middle, and 5 or 10 that may be at the lower end of the points list. One of the things that I wanted to talk about briefly on this, and it's been brought up in the forums, is and brought up in email and phone calls to myself and a couple other people, is this whole thing about you have to be ICG certified to apply for the COY. There's been some debate and some questioning on this, thinking that that's not fair, that it should be open to everyone. And the simple answer to that is this is meant to be a very special award. It is meant to be something that carries weight with it, credibility with it, and that is going to both help promote your business and promote the ICG. And real bluntly, there's not a scenario to any of the people that are involved in running this where it makes sense to not have someone certified. And I think if you think about it for a moment, as an ICG member, you know, at the PGA show, when we're awarding a Club Maker of the Year award, do we really want other agencies looking if Golf Digest gets an interest, or if some of these other club making organizations get an interest? How's that going to look if you have an ICG Club Maker of the Year who's not even ICG certified? I mean, I'm not going to drone on that, but that's the mentality of the thought process of the committee and of the ICG, and it is a requirement to be ICG certified to apply. Continuing with the questions, again, it's going to go all the way up through all 43 questions, you know, and the questions that are showing on the screen now, it's, you know, what do you carry? And, you know, a lot of discussion took place within the committee, and no one is trying to say that this brand or that brand is a requirement to get a COY. However, we're trying to get that point spread of the applicants, and if you have someone who has 5 different companies or 3 different companies to fit from, obviously that's going to be a little bit bigger operation or a little bit better ability to be a club maker and fitter than if you just carry one company, no matter who that is. Again, to go through that pretty much covers, I think, the process. Frank, if there's questions, I'll stop anytime. I'm assuming we're doing this predominantly just for recording.
Yeah,
the second step to the process is that, okay. The second step to the process, after the committee goes through the applications and this questionnaire, then the committee will send out a couple of essay questions or any further questions at some point as you go further along the process and closer to the award. There'll be a webinar, or more than likely a GoToMeeting, in which there'll be questions asked. Last year, that's how it was done. This year, that's how it's going to be done. And that worked out pretty well. I was an applicant last year, and the panel asked, you know, intelligent questions. And it's, again, it's a further way to get your response. They were more specific than what this sample questionnaire is, but you would kind of expect that as you go further through the process. Each tier that you make and go to the next step, it's going to be a little bit more, you know, more not restrictive, but more comprehensive is the word I'm looking for. The other thing that's the other part of this, as you go through the process, you're going to be asked to submit video and or pictures of your shop, you know, pictures of the equipment that you have. Last year being the first year, we really didn't have things, you know, we had a lot of lessons learned, and one of the lessons learned was that we had one member on the committee who received via email all the pictures that all the applicants sent in and all the video, and then that person took and reformatted it if necessary and transferred it over to the website, to the forum, so that the COY committee could look at it. And that was just a tremendous amount of work by that individual, and we can't really continue that in the future. So what we're hoping to do is to take and use YouTube, a combination of YouTube and just a simple PDF or a Word file. And that responsibility is going to be on the applicants this year. There's been some question. I'm assuming that most people know how to use Microsoft Word or the Apple equivalent, or know how to make a PDF, and in which case they can give their written answers as well as pictures of their shop. YouTube may be a smaller group of people that actually have used that. This is my YouTube channel, and I just uploaded the first video about a week ago, so it's not complicated because I'm not that techie. But basically, if you have a Gmail account or a Google account of any kind, you have a YouTube account, go to YouTube.